Hello, Sarah. Hello, Ginny. Hello, Alan. Hello, Lynette.
Hi, Dana.
She will be here in just one moment.
Oh.
Hey, Ginny.
Hi.
Sorry, I'm all right. All right. We're going to have to start doing what Barbara Duke does and make a PowerPoint. Hello, hello. Here we are. Director bound. All right. It is 8:02. And the American women are winning in tennis. Woo! I am so happy. I'm giddy. We haven't seen 4 American women in the quarterfinals of tennis since 1990 something or other. So I know not everybody's a tennis fan like I am, but this is big deals for young women athletes, which I just love. Okay, we are going to do call 2 of the Director Bound program. So on the homework last week, we asked everybody to print or put in their iBooks the participation guide. So that was pretty easy homework. I hope you got that done. If not, Jenny, you can go mute and print that because it helps things make sense as we go along. A lot of the handouts are going to be. Pardon me?
I was just on, since we canceled our other business builder meeting, I was just on and I printed everything out. I haven't had a chance to go through that paper yet though, so because I was listening to that call until just now.
Okay. There's a lot of the handouts you're going to see that we're going to share on the screen tonight are in that participation guide, and so it helps it make a little bit more sense if you have it there in front of us.
It's not the director bound one, Dina?
It is the director bound participation guide.
Mm-hmm.
I think I printed. Oh, okay, so it is director bound. Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I printed the right one.
Right, and you can always put it in your iBooks or whatever the equivalent is on Kindles and stuff if you don't want to do the paper ink thing. So I know that's what my kids would do. So, I'm trying to get with the millennials. All right. So the very first thing I want to do, wait a minute, I left my paper in the other room. I'll be right back. I have some recognition on recruiting. Sorry about that. I'm heading out to Lincoln tomorrow, so I've been collating papers for Connie's meeting that I'm doing Thursday. And I really am excited because it's all about bookings. And so I'm really getting into training about bookings, and I know that we're talking possibly about me going to the East Coast and doing a training there on bookings. So I just need to talk to Helene about that. But I had printed the new recruits since last week, and somehow it ended up with my bookings paper. So I wanted to congratulate Sally McElroy under Connie Floor for recruiting a new recruit. And under Jackie Ingram, Trudy Landry has a new recruit, Ricky Thaxton. And the new recruit under Sally McElroy was Brenda Cole. Under Tristan, Autumn got busy and she got a recruit, and it's Lori Holter. So congratulations to those gals. I know that, we're challenging you to recruit 1 a month to 2 a month, and, these gals have already got that going on. So congratulations to Sally and Trudy and Autumn. And I know they're all taking part in our Director Bound course. So that is incredible. So congratulations. The next thing we wanted to do is we wanted to talk about the accountability and the homework of watching the videos. And we have 2 different videos that we had a link up for. One was networking called Make It Networking. And then the other one was Make It a Full Calendar. So hopefully we can talk a little bit about that. Who took on the mini catalog challenge? Anybody? I know Annie did on our last call. Hi, Alicia. Oh, maybe I need to unmute you guys. That's what I needed to do last time. Manage participants. Okay. Unmuted. 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 And you can mute yourself back. You know, oh, it looks like you do have background noise. Okay. We can mute ourselves back after we do this sharing part. Okay. So homework. I know it was a holiday weekend. That meant you were out and about and seeing people.
Let's have a little process.
Okay. We've got all the lines unmuted for a couple of minutes here so we can talk about homework. Alan keeps muting, so I'm wondering if that's on purpose.
Sorry about that. We've got kids running around here yet.
Okay. Well, just for this, like 2 minutes, hopefully we can talk just a little bit about homework and we can talk about the mini catalog challenge.
I lost my notes and I saw the homework assignment, yes, I think today or yesterday. So I failed majorly. I'll be honest.
Jenny's just joining us for the first time.
Yeah, I didn't even get to the end of the first call, so I don't know what the mini catalog challenge was. So
the mini catalog challenge is basically you prepare mini catalogs with your information on the back of it, but you also attach a drawing set to the back of it with double-sided removable tape, so that you have that folded in there, or you use our Post-it notes, and that's going to come up a little bit later in this. Actually, I believe that might be in our.
what did you say you attached to the back of it?
A drawing slip. A drawing slip.
Oh, a drawing slip. Okay.
Because it's not enough to give out the mini catalogs. You have to get their information. The follow-up is going to be on your part, not their part. And every day that you wait to follow up with them, they lose at least 10% of the interest that they had when you gave it to them. So it's important to follow up in the first 48 hours.
So you're getting contact information from them on that drawing slip and you're keeping it.
Yes. Yeah. So when you see the homework, okay, it gave you a script of what to say. And it was part of the Director Bound program. Sorry, I'm moving it the wrong direction. And then it gives you a practice script. And you can see in my writing right there, I said practice script, and it gives you different things to say to people and suggestions where to meet people. So we're going to check in next week as well to see if that got done. Because, the homework is not optional. With the Director Bound class, we really are trying to move people to directorship. And the way to do that is by taking the little action steps. And for those of you that are re-promoting yourself, you're already a director, but you're going to have 5 more people join your team, and you're going to grow your business, especially if you're getting ready to promote out some team members. I highly suggest that you do that as well. So with that, part of the homework was to look at the career charts for the different levels and the perks and sign your commitment form. So, and when you signed your commitment form, you need to take a picture of it and send it to your upline. Because that's where I'm going to try to get my shows. I will get my shows to 6 to 8 a month. I will recruit 1 to 2 people, and you make that commitment to yourself, and you hold yourself accountable by submitting it to your upline. Okay, so that was important. The other thing was the benefits of directorship. We reviewed those on the phone call. We looked at all the reasons why you would want to be a director. And really, you're supposed to select one of those and keep it in front of you so that you remember why you're doing it, why you're stepping out of your comfort zone, why you're challenging yourself to do these things, and what the benefit of it is going to be for your family. Tonight, we're going to do a little bit of math as well, and we're going to talk about bookings at your shows. And so one of the things about the conversation and the check-in call that you had with your upline was about this 90-day tracker. And so on the bottom here, and you're going to find all of these papers in your participation guide. This one right here has month 1, month 2, and month 3. And I want you to take a look at the top of this right here. It says parties booked, parties held, party attendance, took information home, and the appointment that you made to chat with them later, how many people you signed and personally recruited, how many people your team recruited. One of the things about team recruiting is a lot of times you want to prepare the information for them and teach them how to give it away, and that you volunteer to help follow up with the interest that they get by doing a 3-way phone call. And then the number of bookings that you got at each show. And this is something you're going to be keeping a score pad on throughout the 90 days. And you are just going to be challenging yourself. So we are going to move into okay, it shows, and that you are supposed to have completed this. So tonight, after you're done, we are going to start what we're calling, these are power hour phone calls. So the phone calls go for 45 minutes, and then you have 15 minutes for your action items. A lot of times you can get the homework done in 15 minutes. So other than watching the videos, make it networking and make it a full calendar, you could have printed your participation guide. You could have signed your commitment form. You could have looked at the benefits of directorship and highlighted and circled ones, which ones are really of interest to you. The increased money, the free products, the leading, the developing your potential, whatever it is, you can get a lot of that kind of stuff done. So tonight, I think that in the last 15 minutes, you will be able to get done the majority of the homework again. At least get the videos loaded and queued up so that you can listen or watch. You know, have you ever heard that phrase, whistle while you work, right? Whistle while you work. Well, listen while you work. You know, even if you can't watch the video, if you can listen while you're cleaning, put it on your iPad or your phone and walk it from room to room several times. Listen to it several times, because when you are doing other things at the same time, you know, it's not as meaningful if you're sitting down and taking notes. But the thing about that is, you know, it's better to just listen to it a few times and get the things that you need to get done in your family, or make your hostess packets, whatever it is that you need to get done at the same time. That's a great way to do the homework.
Where do we find the networking calls? Make it networking and make it a full calendar. Where?
On our Facebook page, we put the links up so you can go to them, but they are in the training area, a tab that's on the company's website. And when you find where the Director Bound course is, at the very end, there are also the links right there for the homework. So this is homework that the company has assigned when they do Director Bound. So again, this is a tried and true program. The people who take it seriously, you know, they get the results. And so I am just following something that is known to work in the company. And over the years, I've done programs like this many times, and it's very effective. Okay. So the next part of the training last week was really about prospecting outside of the show. How to do a vendor event. We had lots of links that we sent you that were additional trainings on topics that came out throughout the call. This week, it really is about booking at your shows. And the magic number is number 2. You know, you want to get 2 bookings at every single show. So there should be a grid, and this is under call 2. 2 bookings from every party, 1 booking from every party, and let's take a look at the math of this. So if you challenge yourself in the first month to have 6 shows to get off to a strong start, you know, on the average, you're going to have 2 cancellations and 4 shows are going to hold. If you have 4 parties and you decide you are going to get 2 bookings and you're really working towards that, and you get your hostess as your partner and you're asking for referrals, and you're going to do some of the steps we're going to give you tonight that we know work, you're going to have 8 new parties. If you challenge yourself and you only get 1 booking from every party, you just replaced it, okay? But instead of having 6 shows, you had 4 shows, and you just got 4 bookings, and so you have 4 new parties. Okay, in the second month, if you have 8 parties dated, because you got busy and you got those all on the calendar, and you have 2 cancellations, you held 6 parties. And if you do 6 parties and you get 2 bookings, it's 12 parties, okay? If you are getting 1 booking at each party, but you started out with 4 and you have 2 cancellations, you're down to 2 parties and you get 2 bookings from those new parties. So you kind of see how this is going in our little form here. Month 3, when you've gotten 2 bookings from every party, you have 12 shows and you have the same cancellation rate. You have 10 parties and you get 2 bookings, you get 20 parties. Month 3, you had 2 parties, you had 2 cancellations, you're desperate, you're down to nothing. So you really need to work on getting more than 1 booking at every single show. So the dollar value, when you go for 3 months of 2 bookings, you're going to make $800 to $1,600. And by the end, you should end up with 32 future shows. If you just get 1 or less bookings a month from your next 3 months, you're going to make around $400 and you're out of future bookings. So this is why it's so important to challenge yourself to get those bookings at the show. And today is going to all be about the technique of how to do that and what skill set that you do. So did everybody understand the math on that? And they found the form and their stuff? Or do I need to post that?
This is it, right?
Yes.
Or no?
No, that's the tracking sheet.
Oh, the tracking.
The tracking sheet. This is what it looks like. Okay. It could be little and look like this. Okay.
Is it in the workbook?
It should be in the workbook. If it is not in the workbook, then I will print it and I will take a picture of it and send it to you. Dana just posted it for you. Posted on our Facebook, our small Facebook page. Okay, the next thing you should be looking at tonight is the party outline. Okay, so you can use the party outline that is in the participation guide, and it comes 2 on a page, and I've just cut them apart and put them in order so that you have your outline. And it just kind of goes over your beginning parts of a show, the group hello, the simple selling, the confident close, and the checkout chat. Okay, and you're going to start seeing this word chat quite a bit.
I don't have that either.
The participation.
Yeah, I printed it out. I don't have that.
There should be 2. It's called Party Outline Overview. Okay, she's posting it as well. I don't know why my stuff is so much different than your stuff. So
where will I find that posted?
You also should have this kind of material in your starter kits, where it takes you through the little cards that have the training on them. But this is, what's known as a strong opening, group selling, or simple selling, a strong close, and then the strong party checkout. So it's something that you want to practice what your strong opening and your strong closing should be. If you don't have it here, we posted it last week as well. And it's a great big 30-page document by Love Carpenter, and it's called Strong Start. And she has a show outline that gives you the scripts for the strong opening, the show, and then the strong close. Okay, this is super important that you work on that.
Where are these going to be posted?
Okay, Jenny, we have a team training library called allstaratlas.com. And the link is up for that. But basically, instead of you having to file and pile all the great handouts that consultants and directors make across the country, we try to have a library that everybody can use and access. Okay. So it's called allstaratlas.com. And if you're looking for a training on how to sell the bar pan, that's where it's going to be, that the consultants came up with. So there's a training there called Strong Start with Love Carpenter. And she goes through these party outlines. So has anybody found a party outline overview just by typing that into the company's search engine? Anybody give that a try to see if it's there? Anybody? Okay. Anna's going to look for us.
Okay. Let's try.
It's called Party Outline Overview.
That's on our PC website.
Yes.
We'll show you right now. If you go into the website under our consultant corner, training resource, the director bound, call number 2, party
Okay.
outline.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't have it yet then. It's call number 2.
Okay, so call number 2, that's where it's at.
Do you want me to do it again, or you found it?
No.
Okay. All right. So everybody has that. All right. So, okay. So the first part is, as the guests are arriving, they really kind of encourage us to be early to the show, you know, and to give ourselves enough time. That keeps our hostesses calm. When you're running late, make sure you do call your hostess and assure her that you have everything ready and that everything's going to be fine, because the last thing you want is a stressed out hostess wondering if her consultant is going to show up. So I encourage everybody to be early to their shows. And, you know, it just depends on how elaborate the show is and what your style is and how fast and organized you are at setting up. But for me, I like to go a minimum a half an hour early, depending on how elaborate the show, a bridal show, I might be showing up an hour ahead of time. So I try to be pretty organized so when I get there, I can get my stuff out very quickly and help the hostess, because no matter how many times I say, please have the ingredients out, they're still in the refrigerator and the cupboards. So, you know, I just want to have enough time during my show. So the very first thing that you want to do is figure out a way to get everybody's attention. And sometimes you can ask your hostess to get everybody's attention and say, okay, let's go ahead and get started. Or you can make it fun and say, hey, let's get this party started. And just, you know, having a fun time, making it fun and light is super important. But the script is right here, and you can print these out, cut them apart. You can put your favorite tips in there about certain products you're going to be showing at the recipes, you know, and maybe you leave the recipe part of it blank and open, and every time you change it up, or you're just using the party outline for your strong opening and your strong close. So you want to introduce yourself, and this needs to be very brief. And when I introduce myself, I want to make sure that I'm giving them information that is basically recruiting information or booking information. So I might say something like, hi, I'm Dina Hiltbrand. I'm your Pampered Chef consultant. Before we start cooking, I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself and how I got started with the Pampered Chef. I joined the Pampered Chef because a couple of my friends were doing Pampered Chef and they were making money. And they knew me, and they knew that I loved to cook, and they thought that I could be good at this too. And so Susan was more determined, and she extended me an invitation. And then when I told her, well, I'm not sure what my husband's going to think, she said, well, I'll talk to Greg. She knew my husband, and she talked to my husband too. And, you know, he decided it would be really great, since he was going to be gone for an extended period of time, that I had a little bit of time to get out away from the kids. And maybe I'd make enough money to cover the babysitting. He wasn't really sure about the making money part of it, even though he had our friend Susan send her copies of a paycheck that she was earning, because he wanted to make sure it wasn't a scam. And when we indeed saw that she was making money with this company, about $1,000, and she had been with the company about 6 months, he said, sign my wife up, she's in. And that's really how I got started with Pampered Chef. I was kind of reluctant, but as soon as I realized how much fun it was and how great the products were, and that I was getting bookings and people wanted to join me selling Pampered Chef, I got really excited, and I started doing Pampered Chef because of the love of it, not just because my husband signed me up. Okay, so in that introduction, I talked about maybe husbands might not be supportive, and that maybe the recruiter needed to talk to them too. I talked about not being sure what I got into and how my consultant, Susan, assured us by sending a copy of her paycheck that this wasn't a scam. You know, I talked a little bit about when I changed and I got excited about it because of the tools and things. And, you know, everything had a point. I will then fill in the holes somewhere on the line that, you know, I have 3 kids and blah, 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 blah. But I talked about a little bit of me time too. So when you're introducing yourself, how can you introduce yourself in a way that you might appeal to a whole different group of women? You know, during the show, I might talk about people on my team that are working for their retirement. I might mention that I've been with Pampered Chef 25 years, and my husband and I are 8 years away from retiring. And so I am really working with my Pampered Chef income to get ready for retirement so that we both can retire. He's going to retire at 65. I'm going to retire at 67. So I can maximize my Social Security benefits. And I might mention those kinds of things because I don't just want to recruit young gals. I want to recruit older women too, and different people with different concerns. So just kind of look at what you think would be effective. And I think you're going to find all kinds of great tips on YouTube videos and just jumping in, finding things, asking people, looking at different examples, especially the trainings that you're going to see on the company website. If you're really having problems with this, again, your upline, myself, somebody can help you write what we call a strong opening. And then the next thing is gratitude. You want to be thankful that those people are there. Sometimes you're going to walk in and it's not going to be the most comfortable situation. The last house I did a show, it was like 100 degrees and they didn't have air conditioning. It was hot. You know, it was hot. I'm like in her midlife stuff, and, you know, sometimes I have my own personal summers and it was hot. But I was thankful to be there. I was thankful that she had a room full of people there. And I was thankful that they came to share an afternoon with me. So you just have to like forget about anything that's going on. I did do a bridal shower recently with somebody, and she got very hot, flushed, bothered, and a little stressed out and stuff. And, you know, that's normal. I think it's worse almost when you're with somebody else than it is when you're on your own. So, you know, you just need to realize that it doesn't always go perfect, but as long as you just keep charging ahead and you're having a good time, you're thankful to the other people, and you have a grateful heart, that I think it's going to all work out just fine. And if not, it's a learning experience, and the next time it's that much easier. So from the very beginning, you want to plant booking and recruiting seeds. Sometimes I say, my husband is so thankful that he put me behind the table before I ever sat in front of the table. I had never been to a show. I didn't have a catalog. I didn't have any Pampered Chef products when my friend Susan contacted us about doing Pampered Chef. So that's easy for me to say that I am so thankful that my husband put me behind the table before I ever sat in front of the table, because think of all the thousands of dollars I saved because I wanted every single Pampered Chef product that they made back then. So that would be a booking or another recruiting seed. So just, you know, kind of make sure on your introduction that you have those kinds of things. And again, make it brief. I'm just giving you lots of examples. A lot of times mine's a little tighter than that. I think it takes about 1 minute to 2 minutes when I do it at a show. And then I realize how much more I need to sprinkle throughout the show. So then the plant the booking and the recruiting seeds. One of the things that I just found on our All-Star Atlas page was a coupon for future bookings. And it's a coupon that goes to the current hostess, and you could have a pile of them printed out, and you can say, my goal at every single show is to get the hostess a minimum of 2 bookings. So if you want to give her the gift of a 50% off item and have your own show, fill out one of these coupons, sign your name, and we're going to give it to the current hostess, and she's going to get that 50% off. And it's a very visible way, and you're partnering with the guests to give the host the benefit, okay? Later, you're going to be partnering with the hostess to ask her to help you make sure that you got those 2 bookings, minimum of 2 bookings. So different ways to plant the seeds for booking and recruiting. The third card is the group hello, and it set the stage. Okay, let's get this party started. We're going to be doing this recipe tonight. This is one of my theme shows on the one pot cooking, and we are going to be doing the zucchini carbonara. Sorry, I'm not saying that right. But you're picking it and you're talking about a theme show. Right now, the theme shows I'm going to be stressing this fall are the one pot cooking. Whether it's on the bar pan, whether it's in the slow cooker, the rock crock, the all-purpose pot, the double burner griddle, we are going to be doing one pot cooking all fall. But that might be called family budget meals. That might be called meals in minutes. Whatever it is that you want to call it, you are going to have a marketable theme that you work on, and you're going to either be doing it by station shows or lecture show or a hybrid show, but you're going to tell them how it's going to happen. You're going to divide the stations amongst the guests. If you're doing it that way, or you're going to just jump in and start cooking and asking for a few people to help, asking for people to talk about their favorite products. It's important also to do group selling, where even if you're talking about the skinny scraper, you're showing all of the scrapers. If you're talking about a piece of cookware, you're letting them find where all the cookware is in the catalog. But make sure that you are working on groupings, whether it's knives or cutting boards or whatever it is. Okay, so on the party outline 5, it's about simple selling. And the more examples of how they're going to use it in their lives and how it's going to make things easy for them, by doing smoothies in their manual food processor, as well as chopping for salsa, applesauce, baby food, making compound butters. The more things that you can tell them that they can do with it is far more important than saying that it's a sharp 3-pronged blade and that it has a 5-year guarantee. Those kinds of facts are semi-important, but really what people want to know is how is the product going to make their lives better, and how can they use the product in multiple ways. People might tell you that they love kitchen gadgets, but they really want useful tools. And so that's kind of important that you really learn how to effectively sell. And again, the confident close or the strong closing, it really is about knowing exactly what you're going to say, that eye contact when you're giving out the drawing slips. I like to say to people, now, we've come to the most important part of the show for me. I always try to do a great show and show lots of different products so that we can do needs-based selling for all of you, and the hostess is going to have a great show and get all the products that she wants for free, half price and at a discount. And when I do a show for you, I'm going to work really hard to get you what you want as well. But this is the most important part of the show for me, as I'm giving you this little drawing slip, because this is how I find out if my business continues. So if we could just take a moment to go through this drawing slip, and I'll just ask you question by question, then I just get to know that my business continues and that you guys paid attention. I don't need your address and phone number on the order form and the separate worksheet for the outside order form and the drawing slip, but I do need the information. Very, very important. I need your name. I need your email. That's how Pampered Chef stores your receipts. I need your phone number. That's how FedEx contacts you if something happens within the delivery, and that is how you are filed in the FedEx system. And the rest of the information, of course, if it's being shipped directly to you, I need your address. So then I just kind of go on from there. I look each person in the eye and I hand them the drawing slip. I haven't pre-put it in their folder. I don't have a pad that I pass around. I walk around the room. I'm chatting with people as I hand them to them, and I go, oh yeah, remember, this is the most important part. So if you haven't filled out your information on your outside order form, fill it out now on the drawing slip. And I take a little more time with this because this is really how I find most of my bookings. Now, I don't even necessarily look at those cards when I'm doing my close, but I have gotten the information that I need. I might look at them really quick to see if there's yeses or maybes, but the important part is that they started to think about whether they wanted to have a show. I might remind them some of the benefits as I'm handing out the drawing slips as well. So then at the checkout, and again, what I'm calling this is the chat factor. The chat factor is exactly the same whether you're networking or you're prospecting outside of a show, where you're meeting people. It's where you learn to talk to people. And just, chat means it's not like this huge conversation. It's just this warm interaction that you have with people. So when you're closing the show, you want to have a couple of piles. You want to have recruiting material. You want to have hostess packets. You want to have information on hosting a show, which is on the back of the catalog, and you just point that out to them. And you want to have some recipe cards or a business card of your own. And basically, you want to ask every single person, did you want to take some information home about joining my team? I would love to have you on my team. If you're not interested right now, if you ever become interested, and I don't say if you're not interested right now until they told me they're not interested. I don't plant that seed for them. I'll just say, if you ever do think about joining Pampered Chef, I hope you remember me and know that I want you on my team. If I find out you signed up with somebody else, I'm going to have my feelings hurt. And I just kind of laugh. But a lot of times people don't know that you really want them on your team, and then you got them all excited. You were the one who told them about the benefits. They go to the next party, they get excited, and they sign up instead of coming back to you. And so, in a joking little fun way, I let people know that I'm serious about this. I've given them the information. I want them to come back to me. And hopefully they've liked me and I've connected. And I say for the majority of the time that people do connect. But I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Every once in a while, I'm going to say something that offends somebody unintentionally, or show up late, or have done something wrong. And maybe they don't want to be on my team. And maybe it's their cousin that they're signing up with. Let it go. If you are asking enough people, then it's all going to turn out okay. So, the next thing I would ask them, I haven't looked at the slips yet. Did you want to have a show? I want to have a show with you. Were you interested in one of my new theme shows? Were you interested in the one pot cookie? Blah, 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 blah. If they're not interested in having a show, I said, would you like to take information home about having a show? And then the final thing is, if they have said no to that, I ask them if they want a recipe card. Something that has my name on it to make sure that they're going home with my information. So we are wrapping up here. There is, okay, yeah. So here's that one I referred to earlier. We're going to go ahead and leave that. And then we are going to go to the 90 days to director formula. Hang on. Okay, make it a full calendar.
This workshop was recorded live at the Pampered Chefs 2016.
Okay, so make it a full calendar is the homework, and it is under call number 2. And it's posted on our new Facebook thing. So, okay, go back. Okay. Share screen. So camera. Okay. So right here, the 90 Days to Director Formula Plus. This is part of the tracking sheet where it asks you where your parties are booked, your parties are held, how many number of people you were in front of, you know, the information you take home, this kind of stuff. And then next to it, it's going to tell you the key skill. And so for part of your homework, if you can kind of figure out what the key skill is. So for booking and prospecting, remember on call number 1, we talked about skill, will, and belief and passion, the pillars, things like that. So maybe the key skill would be that you had the will to do it, that you had the skill to do it, that you got excited about the one-pot recipes or whatever it is. So just kind of go through and see if you can figure out what the skill is. So for the homework, we have that. We also have that you need to practice your strong opening and your strong closing. And so if you want to get with somebody who's already on this group or find a partner through our Facebook page or work with your upline or somebody on your team or a friend or a neighbor who you think would help you, that would work as well. We're asking you to observe a strong seller's show. Of course, going in person would be ideal, but if you can't go in person, then of course there are great shows on YouTube and on the company's website. You're going to want to watch those. Make sure that you have made 15 contacts outside of your parties this week, and maybe you can do that in 15 minutes, in 45 minutes, and leave that 15 minutes for follow-up or sending out catalogs or anything to anybody that you said you would do what it is. So the main assignment is watching the video, make it a full calendar with Julie Gizzi, Julie Ritter, and Carol Pollock, and that's on the Consultants Corner, and we have sent the link. So just in closing, a little idea that Eleanor Roosevelt said is do something every day that scares you. And I just wanted to send you this bumblebee story. Some of you know my husband's a pilot. My mother was a pilot, not a commercial pilot, but a private pilot. So I kind of grew up with pilots, and I've been married to a pilot for the last 35 years. So I thought this was really interesting that a bumblebee and most insects should not be able to fly. They are not aerodynamically designed. If you take them and reconstruct how much they weigh and make it in a bigger form with products, the bodies are too big and the wings are not large enough for a bumblebee to fly. It's just been proven over and over again that bumblebees shouldn't be able to fly, but yet they do. And nobody ever tells a bumblebee, hey, you can't fly, you're not aerodynamic, you can't do it. They have just learned that if they beat their wings fast enough, that they can fly. So, the point of this is, in fact, bumblebees manage to fly even in places where human beings find it difficult to breathe. On Earth's highest peak, Mount Everest, bumblebees have been sighted at more than 18,000 feet up. Although there's much less air pressure for their tiny wings to beat against, bumblebees power on, hot to the touch, even in the frigid cold. So they figured out that if they got their wings and their muscles up to 86 degrees, no matter where they're at, they are working hard enough for a bumblebee to fly. But my question to you is, has somebody ever told you that you couldn't fly and that you couldn't succeed and that you believed them? Are you a bumblebee and you're going to figure out a way to do it no matter what? And there's all kinds of cute little stories and YouTubes and videos on this, but that's basically the point. If you decide you're going to make this work, you're going to make this work and you're going to find a way. So I have some cute little bumblebees that I'll be happy to send you for you to put in your office to look at if you want a bumblebee. Or I can just take a picture of it and you can have it on your phone. But I have a bunch of bumblebees to send out. And just remember that you're the one that gives yourself permission to fly. I'll see you guys next week, and make sure you get your homework and make sure that you have seen the Facebook group that we are going to be using for contact. You know, we might make a couple more reminders, but really we should be chatting with each other as soon as we get something done. Post it so that encourages somebody else. Any questions?
I'll take a bumblebee.
You'll take the bumblebee. Jenny will. Okay. Do you want to just stick a post?
Me too.
Okay.
Okay,
Sarah. You know I'm big into visual things that I stick in front of myself and make sure that I see it. So make sure I send you one that has a goo eyes still on it. Okay, Jenny, Sarah. Anybody else who wants a bumblebee, just let me know. You can text me or email me later. I am heading out to Connie Floors for the next 3 days, but then I'll be back working in the office again, and looking forward to our call on Tuesday night. Do your homework.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.